Good afternoon. My name is Kurt Myers.
My name is Riley Gudebeck.
My name is Scott Harris.
My name is Sabrina Botella.
And together we are the management team for BeaconOps, a company that produces action capture cameras and unmanned aerial view drones. And today we're going to be discussing our company's performance, doing some analysis on the industry, as well as seeing how our company sort of sizes up against our competitors. And with that said, if everybody could have a seat, we will start the presentation. Executive summary. So we're going to be going over the problem, solution, opportunities, and investment and returns for our company. So starting off in our industry, the problem was that all the companies were undifferentiated. That means we all had the same offerings, we had the same financial standings and market share. So how do we solve that problem? Well, at BeaconOps, we had to find ways to differentiate our product segments in such a way that optimizes our stock price, our return on investment, etc. And so to do that, we see some opportunities. We implemented some new investment plans. We also implemented some new production processes and rolled out some marketing strategies and kind of reassessed our product offerings as well, so that we could better suit the needs of our customers. And lastly, the investment and return. The worldwide growth outlook for our industry from the outset, from year 6 to 10, was a 6 to 8% increase, and then from year 10 to 12, it was to be a 4 to 6% increase. So we saw that there was a lot of opportunity there, and we then implemented our strategy. So, our strategy: BeaconOps offering quality action camera, video, and aerial technology at an affordable price. That is our strategy in a statement form. But broken down, we have objective, scope, and advantage. For our objectives for our AC camera segment was to have a focused, low-cost differentiation. That is, low cost meaning we can provide a product to our customers that is an affordable price and that they can access readily. The UAV drone segment, however, we used a focused differentiation strategy, which was implemented by creating a premium drone product for end users that really care about quality in their drone purchases. The scope of our industry, or sales focus rather, was mainly in Latin America and Asian Pacific, because we saw that there was some room for us to create a presence in the market share in those regions. And then also we continued to sell in North America and Europe, Africa, even though those weren't our primary regions. The advantage that we created, well, we have an affordable, low-cost AC camera segment, and we have high-quality UAV drones for a focus in each demographic area. So who buys our products? For our AC cameras are mainly picked up by chain store and specialty retailers, and the end user of our AC camera segment is usually price-sensitive people. That's people that want an action capture camera but aren't necessarily trying to pay for all the bells and whistles of the more professional brands. The UAV drone segment, however, is a segment that we focus on creating quality products, and so we have online retailers mainly picking up our UAV drones, and then the end user is a quality sensitive customer, somebody who really wants a high quality drone. So with that said, we'll be talking about, Riley will take it away with the company history and performance. Riley?
All right, thank you, Kurt. So BeaconOps was started about 5 years ago in 2013, and our headquarters are in Taiwan, and we have 2 separate facilities, one for our action capture cameras and another one for our UAV drones. And so we noticed that there was going to be large growth upon entering this market, and that's why BeaconOps started. And so the AC camera market potential and size is about 4.8 million, whereas the UAV drones market size and potential is about 5.1 million. And so we also recognize that from the years 11 to 15, the projected growth is about 2% increase by region. And for drones for the same time period, there's about a projected growth of 4% increase by region. And so if you take a look at these two graphs, on the top is our AC camera sales in total, and on the bottom is our UAV drone sales in total. And you can notice that although we did collectively lose market share over the years, later on in the presentation we will know how we did capitalize on a few opportunities. And so now I'd like to introduce you to the BeaconOps team. And here at BeaconOps, we recognize that an effective team is a small number of people with complementary skills, a set of performance goals, and they have an approach for which holds them mutually accountable. And so first I would like to introduce Sabrina, who is our marketing manager, and she manages the company's marketing efforts in all 4 regions. Next we have myself, which is the Chief Product Officer, and I play an important role in determining PQ ratings associated with cost. Next we have Scott, who is our CFO, and he plays an important role in the company's initial public offerings. And last but not least, we have Kurt, who is our CSR specialist, and he focuses on strategic management and production and compensation management. Now, as for our organizational structure at BeaconOps, we chose a functional one because it allows us to have 5 areas of specialization amongst our co-managers. And so an advantage of having this type of structure is that it allows for greater operational efficiency. Although we do recognize that a disadvantage of this structure leads to difficulty of communication, which leads to a lack of flexibility and innovation. And so that leads me into our team dynamics, which we chose on the basis of an article written by John Katzenbach and Douglas Smith, The Discipline of Teams. And so we chose individual and mutual accountability, collective work products, and encouraging open-ended discussion and active problem solving, which leads us into our ability to execute as a team. So we know that we need to spend a lot of time together in order to be effective. And so this means meeting electronically, over the phone, and even just casual interactions, because we need to learn how to be a team. In addition to that, we knew we needed to set and seize upon a few immediate performance goals, because the most effective teams trace their advancements to key performance-oriented events, and the sooner they produce these results, the sooner the team can congeal. And lastly, we selected our team members based on skill, which correlates to why we have a functional organizational structure as well. So they're chosen on the basis of their existing skill and their potential for improving that skill and learning new ones. So now I'm going to pass it off to Sabrina, and she's going to talk about the competitive analysis.
All right, thank you, Riley. So the general environment of our company is impacted by 5 different factors: the political, economic, social, technological, and legal factors. However, the only 2 factors that really are important to our company are going to be the economic and technological factor, because the economic factor deals with the exchange rate adjustments that we have to deal with in order to produce products to all 4 regions. And the technological factor is important because of the robotic upgrades we made at the beginning of our company. And then the other 3 are important to most companies. However, in the case of ours, they're not as important. And then for the industry that we are in, the key drivers are going to be the price, variable cost, fixed cost, and sales. And the suppliers of our industry are important to us because they give us the camera and drone components that we use to produce our products. And related industries to our products is going to be the media, engineering, and delivery industries. However, the 2 most important industries and demanding industries are going to be media and agriculture. And then as a management group, we found that our main competitors are going to be AgroHawk Company, Glam Cams, ITFT, Facile, Just Cams, and Leviosa. And as you can see in the graphs to the right, the main competitor for market shares in AC cameras is going to be Company, and the main competitor for market shares in UAV drones is going to be ITFT. And we found that throughout the years we have not had to deal with government regulations, and we have also improved working conditions for plant personnel and instituted the Supplier Code of Conduct, which holds the suppliers to a higher standard in relation to their treatments of their workers, and it's important for our suppliers to treat their personnel correctly. And we have found that there was little to no threat when entering this industry. The power of the suppliers is low due to the amount of suppliers we have. Substitutes is low, intensity of rivalry is moderate but not very high, and the highest force that plays a factor into our company is going to be the power of the buyers, because they determine what we price our products at, and they are what give us our revenue. So on that note, I'm going to now talk about our main competitor, which is ITFT. And as you can see, the PQ ratings, the market shares, the brand reputation, and the average price of both companies, ITFT and our own, are very, very close. And if you just look at the brand reputation, you can see they're only 2 points away from each other. However, the prices are a little bit different, and that is going to be discussed later on in our presentation. And now I'm going to give it to Scott.
Awesome. Thanks, Sabrina. So here we got our VRIO analysis test. We have valuable sales and marketing, services, and purchasing. We have a competitive parity, so no resources are rare, as well as it's not too costly for competitors to imitate. And if we refer to Appendix 5 here later on, it will have our value chain, and it'll discuss a lot more insight on what's going on with this. With our relative cost and willingness to pay analysis, with our strongest competitor, ITFT, you could see there's very similarities with us, BeaconOps, and ITFT. Very similar products, PQ ratings, brand image, etc. But the main thing that stands out that ITFT has a competitive advantage over us is the price. They had a much better price and a warranty period, as you can see here in the graphs. So that gave them that competitive advantage over us. Oops, sorry about that. And with that, we're going to go into the SWOT analysis, and Kurt will take care of that.
All right, thank you, Scott. So the team sat down recently and did a SWOT analysis to assess our strengths as a group, our weaknesses, threats, and opportunities as a company. And so for our strengths, one of our biggest strengths, as Riley spoke about earlier, was that our collaborative team dynamics. We really do have a great team and great systems in place in order for us to execute effectively. We had consistent increases in earnings per share, return on equity, stock price, and net revenue throughout our entire tenure as managers here at BeaconOps. And so also we have improved PQ ratings over the years, increased profit margins over the years, and to date we have substantial holdings in retained earnings as well as our cash balance. Weaknesses. We have the lowest image rating in the industry, and that's largely due to cuts that we made throughout the years in trying to be low cost and compete in that segment. We also have low market share because we did fine-tune our customer demographics, and we have low efficiency in our production processes because we did make some purchases in capital investments early on in our tenure that ended up not being used later on. And also our pricing, as Sabrina was talking about, our competition tends to have better prices. So as far as threats, our main competitors are our threats. Also, losing investors is a potential threat in the future, and our lack of R&D investments throughout the years may have an effect on our future outcomes. Opportunities. Well, we can invest in CSR. We can invest in R&D in the future. Definitely make some price cuts in our different segments, and then also try to increase our production efficiency. So these are a couple areas that we might make recommendations for the future. And to those recommendations, Sabrina's going to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. And the 4 recommendations we wish to make as a company are going to be a lower product price, improved image rating, improved production efficiency, and an increase in investments in research and development. All 4 of these recommendations will correlate with one another. So if we were to lower the product prices, that would in return improve our image ratings because we'd be selling a better product at a lower price. And then in return, that would improve our production efficiency because currently we have workstations that are not being utilized that we installed at the beginning of our company. So if we had more product demand, then we would be able to utilize those workstations, which in return would come from our investments in research and development, which as a company we decided would be the most important one. At the beginning of our company, not all of our original plans really planned out the way we wanted them to. However, we do believe that these 4 recommendations would improve our company overall, and we just want to see a better competitive analysis. Thank you for watching our presentation.